I think the number one reason that you're unlucky in love is because you keep choosing men who don't want you. So you're like, how do they not want me? They want to spend all this time with me, all this money on me. Doesn't mean they really want you. A man can want your body. He can want your mind. He can want your conversation when he's bored. These are not signs that he really wants you, all of you, and to take care of you and your emotions and your physicality in a way that he would for his wife. He's just not that into you. A man who really wants you, your heart, to care for you, take care of you, to have positive interactions with your family, who wants you in his life long term. That man does everything in his power to make sure you feel secure in the relationship. If you feel anything besides peace, serenity, security, predictability, a man will make sure you feel all of those things when he wants to keep you in his life. He wants to make sure you feel valued. Not just that you know sometimes you might be valued, but that you are a constant in his life and he is kind and consistent with you. If he's not demonstrating any of these things, some of these things, not all of these things, sometimes some of these things, sometimes not, he's not that into you. He's not into you, or he has other issues that he needs to deal with. The bottom line is he doesn't want you. And not being ready for a relationship or having other priorities is just an excuse for he doesn't want you. Right? When a man says, I'm not ready for a relationship, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. That's what you hear. And so if you continue to engage with a man who's not that into you, of course you're going to be left heartbroken and disappointed because he was never going to be that into you. It really is a sign to move on. The question then is, why do you keep entertaining men who are not that into you? Why do you keep giving them your time and attention, your kindness, your gifts, your cooking, your body? Why do you keep giving those things to men? Which brings me to my second point, that you have low self-esteem. One of the reasons you're unlucky in love is because you have low self-esteem. So people who know you well, kind of well, not really much at all, probably look at you from the outside and think, she has it all together, her career is going great, she has these wonderful friendships with other women, but you know what it's like with you when you're alone and you feel that loneliness, that emptiness, and you're wondering, how do I fill it up? And some of the ideas that you have is, maybe I can fill it up with a man. But newsflash, you will not find salvation in a man. A man cannot save you from the feeling of emptiness. It's really a mask for deeper issues and problems. I think self-esteem and confidence go hand in hand. And so I think the best way to increase your self-esteem is to do things that give you joy, right? Follow your bliss. Make sure you prioritize yourself so that you are filling your own cup. And there's lots of ways to do this. One of the ways that I think is super, super important, and I talk about on my channel all the time, is to seek it from source, from God, from spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about. There's a higher power that once you tap into, you will feel full. This is something that comes from the inside. No one, no thing, not a new car, not a new house, not a flashy new bag, nothing on the outside of you is going to fill the hole that you feel. You have to do the work on the inside to heal whatever traumas you have, to rebuild your confidence, to do what you say you're going to do, right? How many times have you been saying you're going to start on Monday? You're going to start next week? You're going to start next month? You are the most valuable thing in your life. And you need to start treating yourself like you are. And so when you're able to do this in other areas of your life, smaller ones, like not eating that cake, exercising when you say you're going to exercise, standing up for yourself at work or in a conversation, saying no when you really mean no, saying yes when you really mean yes, then it becomes easier when you're in the presence of a man for you to maintain high self-esteem. And when you have high self-esteem, one of the things you do is enforce your boundaries, which is my point number 3, boundaries. You are unlucky with men because you have poor boundaries. I recommend that women reciprocate energy, right? He gives you this, you give him that. There's a back and forth, there's a dance. Because if you are a feminine woman and you want a masculine man, the dance is he leads. He leads, he gives, you are a receiver, and women take what they receive and they multiply it, right? So you wait for him to do the leading and you reciprocate what he gives you. You don't just go volunteering all of these, oh, I'm going to plan this elaborate date when he's never planned an elaborate date for you. You're not going to go, oh, I'm going to cook for him when I never cook for anybody, but I care about him so much that I want him to feel really special. Has he made you feel really special? Huh? Has he? Or is he calling you at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night? Are you usually up that late? Do you take calls from gentlemen at 10 or 12 o'clock at night? Has this person planned a date with you? Has this person made it their business to make sure you feel important, valued, secure? Or are you just giving with the hopes that he will reciprocate? Fall back. Fall back. Stop making yourself so accessible to people who haven't made themselves accessible to you. Can you call him when you have a flat tire or you run out of gas? You shouldn't be running out of gas, but if these things, unfortunate things happen to you, can you call on him? Would he call on you? Would you show up for him when you don't know for sure if he would show up for you? If you don't know for sure, it means that you're allowing space for someone to manipulate you, use you, mistreat you. The boundary is, I reciprocate energy received. And in this process, you must maintain healthy boundaries. If you are willing to acknowledge right now that you don't have the healthiest of boundaries, you have to take baby steps. I encourage folks to start with small things, right? Like if saying no is difficult for you, say no for something easy. Something that, isn't going to stress you out that much. Like someone invites you to a party and you always say yes, but oftentimes you don't really want to go, but you go because it's your friend. Practice saying no in those situations. You build up and then you can say no when you feel like there's a lot on the line. It's not really a lot on the line, because saying no to something that doesn't serve you means you benefit. Being able to say no to someone who may just want to take is a blessing. You're not losing out on anything by saying no and making sure your boundaries are clear and firm and that you stand by them. People also respect others who have clear and firm boundaries, because nobody really likes being in the presence of someone who's always the victim, who always needs help or saving. Those kinds of people, right? There's like a banner on their head saying, use me, take advantage of me, don't be kind to me. And so those are the kinds of people who are attracted. So work on yourself, heal yourself, right? Build your self-esteem, develop healthier boundaries with other people. And then my number 4 point is about working on yourself. I think a lot of people don't think that there's anything that they need to work on. But if you are unlucky in love, it really means that there's an area of your life that needs growth, meaning change. You need to do things differently, not just in relation to other people, but with yourself. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. The common denominator in your previous relationships, interactions, situationships is you. At some point, you're going to have to stop blaming all of the other people and take a look at yourself. What is an area where you can do some work to heal yourself, right? The relationship we have with ourselves is just a mirror for the relationships we have with other people. Acknowledgement is the hardest part, but once you are able to acknowledge that there is something in you that needs to change, you are going to have to change this thing. Then you will be able to develop healthy habits. You'll be able to heal yourself. You'll be able to enjoy life more. And when you come as a joyful person, enjoying your life, thankful, grateful for everything that's happening, feeling blessed, that is what you're going to attract. If you have the opposite of that, dating is hard and I can't ever find a good man, and right, if you're wallowing in self-pity and woe is me and all these things are happening to me, you're only going to get more of the same, because what you focus on will increase. The point here is we all have areas in our life that can use improvement. Because we're human, we exist in this earth school. There's always a new opportunity for you to grow and learn and change. Evolution, that's what everything on earth is about, evolving. And so your job is to find out what area of your life can you evolve. And then my last point is you have too much masculine energy, or you operate too much in your masculine energy, because we have both feminine and masculine energy. If you're new here, I am Dr. Sharice, and I help Black men and women heal from trauma and toxic relationships so that they can experience as much joy and peace as possible. I also talk to feminine women. And so my last point about increasing your femininity, if you are existing in the people's America and you're a Black woman, you have been inundated with negative imagery, with negative stereotypes about Black women being laborers, workhorses, all that stuff. And so a lot of times there's a lot of unlearning that needs to happen. There's nothing wrong with masculine energy, right? Women have both masculine and feminine energy, same for men. The point is, you need to know when to call on which one. And so in relationships, because even, I don't care which relationship you're looking at, whether it's same sex or, heterosexual, there's a yin and a yang in these relationships. There's a give and a take. There's a balance of masculine and feminine energies. And so if you are a woman interested in a man with a lot of masculine energy, it means that for it to be balanced, you have to have a lot of feminine energy, and you bring that to the relationship. So you have to be masculine at work, because masculinity is about doing, getting things done, planning, right? All that stuff. It's a great skill to have, to be able to tap into that. But in your relationship with a masculine man, because he partnered with a woman, or he would like to, right? If you're single, you're looking for a man who wants to partner with a woman who's feminine. So in your relationship, you have to tap into your feminine energy and allowing him to lead, reducing your criticizing and letting him be the man. If that's the relationship you want. If you're watching me, I'm assuming that's the kind of relationship you want, because that's what I recommend. I love modern traditionalism. It's not a real thing, but I really do enjoy relationships that feel balanced. And so whatever the balance feels like to you. There are a lot of channels that I think talk well about femininity. I don't have a recommendation right now, because I don't think anyone does it exceptionally well, better than the others, but they all have nuggets that you can take from it. And so only do what resonates with you, right? So allowing a man to lead, waiting for him to open your door, reciprocating, right? Like I talked about in the beginning, you're waiting for him to show you that he is really interested and serious about you. That way, you reduce the likelihood of being unlucky in love, because a man is going out of his way to make sure you feel secure. And once you get that secure feeling, you're content, you feel at peace, this relationship is effortless, it's full of joy, there's no unlucky anymore. Then you become a lucky woman in love. You become so blessed and full of this beautiful relationship that you had been praying and hoping for. I do believe it's there for you, but there are a number of things that you need to do to get in a place of aligning with this sort of relationship. You have to have that peace and serenity inside of you before you will align and attract that type of relationship. But I believe it is there for you. I believe it is coming. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, share this video with someone you think it may help, and thank you for watching.